Quick question. Imagine you buy a house. You sign the deed, you pay the mortgage, you move your furniture in. But then, every Tuesday, the architect who designed it lets himself in, walks into your living room, and paints a giant billboard for Candy Crush on your wall. You'd call the police, right? So why do we let our computers do it? Look closely at your start menu. Can you spot the difference between the software you actually installed and the stuff that's just squatting there? If you think those little icons are just annoying clutter, you are missing the bigger, much darker picture. I'm not saying Microsoft is evil. I'm saying that Windows isn't a tool anymore. It's an extraction machine. And by the end of this video, you're going to realize that the operating system you paid for is actively working against you. Let's fix it. Today, we are talking about the cruel joke of modern computing. And no, I'm not being dramatic. That's actually how a lot of tech insiders are describing the current state of Windows 11. See, for decades, the deal was simple. You pay for the hardware, maybe you pay for the Windows license, and the computer shuts up and does what it's told. It was a neutral tool. But apparently, that business model is so 2010s. I've been digging into the documentation, the revenue reports, and the psychological patterns buried in the latest updates, and I found that this isn't accidental. It's structural. We're going to map the terrain. First, we'll look at the hostile UI taking over your start menu. Then, we'll talk about the Shanghai kidnapping of your files. Yeah, that's a real term. And finally, I'll show you the math on why they're doing it. Buckle up, it's gonna get weird. Let's start with the start menu, the sacred ground, the place you go to start things. In Windows 11, half of this real estate is now dedicated to something called recommended. Now, in theory, this shows your recent files. Helpful, right? But with the 2024 and 2025 updates, this space has turned into a rotating door for what engineers call stubs. You see an icon for TikTok or Spotify. You think, oh, I guess that came installed. It didn't. That icon is a ghost. It's a shortcut to a download. The second you click it, believing you're just opening an app, the system triggers a silent download in the background. Your click was just sold as a conversion metric. It's like opening your fridge to grab milk, but the handle is actually a buy now button for a cow that gets delivered to your house 3 days later. But my favorite trick? The account manager. Go click your profile picture in the start menu. It used to be simple. Lock, sign out, done. Now, it's a dashboard for anxiety. You might see a little orange warning dot or a yellow triangle. In the language of user interface design, yellow triangle means danger. It means system failure or virus detected. But when you click it, it's warning you that you haven't subscribed to OneDrive yet. They are using the visual language of safety to trigger your fight or flight response just to upsell you on cloud storage. That is not a recommendation. That is a dark pattern designed to stress you out until you pay up. But wait, you say, I just won't look at the start menu. If only it were that easy. Let's talk about the lock screen. This is the first thing you see. It used to be a nice picture of a mountain. Now it's a minefield. Microsoft calls this Windows Spotlight. You see those little text snippets on the photo? Fun facts, right? Well, lately those fun facts have morphed into things like, did you know Edge is faster? Switch now. Or play the latest hits on Game Pass. Here is the problem. These aren't just ads. They are system-level interruptions. And in the 2025 updates, if you accidentally click a finance or sports widget on your lock screen, it forces your browser open to msn.com. Even if your default browser is Chrome or Firefox, it ignores your preferences to drive traffic to their ad network. But the worst offense? The one that really makes my blood boil? Let's talk about the Shanghai kidnapping. This is happening in File Explorer, your private documents. During setup, or sometimes after a big update, you get a screen asking if you want to back up your files. Most people just click Next to get it over with. Here is what they don't tell you. Windows doesn't just copy your desktop and documents folders to the cloud. It moves them. It physically changes the file path from your local hard drive to the OneDrive folder. Why does this matter? Because the second you fill up that free 5 GB limit, which happens instantly if you have photos, Windows starts screaming that your storage is full. You panic. You think your computer is full. It's not. Their cloud is full. But since they moved your files, you feel held hostage. You either pay the monthly subscription or you risk losing access to your own data. Nice family photos you got there. Be a shame if something happened to them. Okay, quick clarification. I know some of you are thinking, but Google does this. Android has ads. You're right, but here is the difference. Android is free. Google gives the operating system away because you are the product. Apple is the opposite. You pay a Apple tax, a huge premium for the hardware, but the OS leaves you alone. You paid with money, so you don't pay with your attention. Microsoft is trying to do both. They are charging you for the license. That cost is baked into your laptop's price tag. And they are mining your data like you're a free user. This is the double dip, and the numbers explain why. In 2025, Microsoft's revenue from search and news advertising jumped 21% to nearly $14 billion. That is massive. For the executives in Redmond, your desktop isn't a workspace. It is under-monetized real estate. Every pixel that isn't showing an ad is money left on the table. And if you think it's annoying now, wait until next year. We are entering the era of the agentic OS. Microsoft is betting everything on Copilot and AI integration. Imagine this. You ask your computer, help me edit this photo. Instead of just opening the app you already have, the AI, which is designed to be helpful, suggests, I can do that better if you install the trial version of Adobe Lightroom. The ad stops looking like a banner. It starts sounding like advice. And then there is Recall, the feature that takes screenshots of your activity every few seconds to help you remember things. A searchable database of everything you have ever seen on your screen. From a privacy standpoint, that is a nightmare. Malware doesn't need to log your keystrokes anymore. It just needs to read your recall diary. To be fair, and I want to be fair here, Microsoft is a business. They have shareholders, and maintaining a secure global operating system costs billions of dollars. Updates aren't free, but they are also a $3 trillion company. There is a line between informing users about features and deceptive coercion. When you hide the close button on a finish setting up screen, or when you use yellow warning triangles to sell cloud storage, you have crossed that line. You aren't treating users like customers, you're treating them like resources to be mined. And that's the problem. Okay, enough doom and gloom. How do we fight back? You have 3 options. Option 1 is whack-a-mole. You can go into settings right now. Go to personalization. Go to Start, turn off recommendations. Go to Privacy, turn off suggested content. The catch? Updates often turn these back on. You have to be vigilant. Option 2 is for the power users. There's a tool called O&O Shut Up 10++. Terrible name, fantastic software. It's a free, portable app that flips all those hidden switches for you. It disables the telemetry, kills the ads, and blocks the tracking. One click. Highly recommended. Option 3, the nuclear option. If you are tired of the abusive relationship, it might be time to look at Linux. I know. Linux is scary. But honestly, in 2026, it's easier than Windows. Mint or Ubuntu are stable, they're fast, and thanks to Valve and Steam, most of your games run perfectly. The best part? When you turn on a Linux machine, it just sits there, waiting for you. It doesn't try to sell you anything. It respects you. Look, the computer is the bicycle of the mind. That was the old Steve Jobs quote. But right now, Windows feels like a bicycle where the handlebars shock you every time you don't look at a billboard. If none of this bothers you, then hey, enjoy the candy crushing. But if you value your sovereignty, it's time to take control of your machine again. I want to hear from you in the comments. What is the most ridiculous, intrusive ad or suggestion Windows has ever thrown at you? Did it try to sell you a browser while you were already using it? Let me know down below. Don't forget to like if this was helpful, and I'll see you in the next one. Stay skeptical.